Hidden beneath the muddy waters of the Mekong River lives a legend, a freshwater giant so powerful that a single flick of its tail can turn the calm surface into a whirlpool. This is the Siamese giant carp, known among locals as the stubborn king of the river, a fish famed for its brute strength and incredible resistance once hooked. But how do local fishermen manage to conquer such a colossal creature? Join us as we dive into one of the most challenging and awe-inspiring fishing expeditions ever recorded. The freshwater giant of Southeast Asia, the Siamese giant carp, thrives in the deep, slow-moving rivers of the Mekong and Chao Phraya basins, commonly found in Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia. They are massive in size, broad bodies, large heads, and wide toothless mouths. Their scales shimmer a silver-gray hue, and record-breaking individuals can exceed 3 meters in length and weigh nearly 300 kilograms, ranking among the largest freshwater fish on Earth. Despite their size, these fish are gentle giants, feeding mainly on algae, aquatic plants, fallen fruit, and small crustaceans. Before each expedition, local fishermen carefully prepare their traditional gear. Their most trusted tool, the large nylon fishing net, must be both flexible and unbreakable. With wide mesh to trap the giant yet strong enough to withstand its violent thrashing, the net is secured to sturdy bamboo or wooden stakes driven deep into the riverbed, able to endure the brute force of a 300-kilogram monster. When the time comes, experience, patience, and teamwork decide success or failure. Only the most seasoned hands can safely handle such power without tearing the net or losing the catch. To capture a giant carp, fishermen seek out wide, deep stretches of calm water, rich in silt, aquatic plants, and food sources. These are the carp's favorite feeding and migration zones. Experienced fishermen look for subtle signs, ripples, bubbles, or the deep splash of a massive tail. The nets are cast in a wide U shape, surrounding a section of the river like a giant invisible cage. One end is fixed to the shore or anchored boat. The other is drawn slowly inward, closing off the escape routes until the fish is trapped within. Once inside, the fishermen move in unison, stirring the water gently, using paddles to guide the carp toward the center. Every movement requires precision. One wrong pull could tear the net or set the giant free. After a long struggle, the net tightens, the water erupts. The giant carp thrashes violently, but the fishermen hold firm. Thick ropes are tied around its gills and tail. With the strength of several men, the colossal fish is finally hauled to the side of the boat. Under the shouts of encouragement, they slide the fish up a wooden plank to the riverbank, a true victory born of endurance, unity, and skill. Wild specimens like these are exceedingly rare. Those caught are documented and reported for research and conservation. Farm-raised carp, on the other hand, are much smaller, usually only a few kilograms, and are harvested separately for trade and cuisine. Today, most Siamese carp served in restaurants come from commercial farms, weighing 30–80 kilograms. Wild giants of the Mekong are now legally protected. Their presence almost vanished from open markets. At the riverside restaurants, freshly caught carp are quickly cleaned and prepared. Chefs wash off the river mud, remove the fins and gills, then skillfully fillet the fish into large, glistening portions while keeping the natural flavor intact. The meat is kept on ice to preserve freshness. Some parts are cooked immediately into signature dishes like Siamese Carp hot pot or grilled carp wrapped in banana leaves, each carrying the rich, earthy taste of the Mekong. The remaining cuts are carefully packed in foam boxes and shipped to other cities, bringing the taste of the river to diners across the region. From the tense moments in the middle of the Mekong to the triumphant pull onto shore, this expedition is a true test of strength, skill, and teamwork. Through patience and resilience, the fishermen have once again proven their mastery over one of nature's greatest freshwater giants. But beyond the economic value, the Siamese giant carp stands as a symbol, a bond between humans and the river, between tradition and survival. Behind every meal lies a story of effort, respect, and generations of life intertwined with the Mekong's eternal flow. If this journey moved you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and join us on our next adventure, where more legends of the rivers await to be discovered. A wooden boat, a few handmade harpoons, and pure human strength. For centuries, the Lamalaura tribe of Indonesia has conquered the ocean. Without steel ships, engines, or modern weapons, they rely solely on courage and ancient craftsmanship to face the giants of the sea, massive whales weighing tens of tons. But have you ever wondered what drives them to continue this dangerous tradition even today? And how can a small island tribe possibly take on the monsters of the deep? The Lamalaura people live on Lembata Island, part of Indonesia's Nusa Tenggara archipelago. For hundreds of years, they have lived in harmony with the sea, viewing whales as sacred gifts of life. This isn't commercial whaling, it's subsistence hunting, meant to provide meat, fat, and oil for the entire village, just enough to sustain them, not to sell for profit. Unlike industrialized nations that once hunted whales with massive ships and harpoon guns, the Lamalaura people rely only on wooden boats, handmade harpoons, and sheer bravery. Each expedition is a life-or-death gamble. To hunt a giant whale, the entire Lamalaura village must prepare with extreme care. The strongest men row the boats far into the open sea, while the harpooner, known as the Lamafa, stands boldly at the bow. He is the bravest and most experienced man in the crew, ready to leap into the ocean at any moment, harpoon in hand. Each journey begins with their Paeldang boats, the spiritual heart of the village. What's remarkable is that these boats are built without nails. Instead, they are fastened using ropes made from banana fibers and bamboo ties, because the Lamalaura believe metal angers the sea spirits. Each Paeldang carries 6 to 14 men, with the Lamafa as the central figure. At the decisive moment, he not only hurls the harpoon from the bow but may even jump directly onto the whale's back, using his own body as leverage to drive the hand-forged iron spear deep into the whale's flesh, tied to a rope made from palm fibers. What follows is pure adrenaline. As the massive whale breaches, the boat surges forward, the Lamafa leaps through the air, plunging his harpoon into the creature's body. In that split second, the line between life and death becomes razor thin. A full-grown whale can weigh tens of tons, powerful enough to capsize an entire boat. After the first strike, the crew must work in perfect synchronization. Some hold the ropes, some steer, others keep watch, all struggling to stay afloat while the whale thrashes, waiting for it to tire out. Some hunts last for hours, in the midst of roaring waves and crashing foam mixed with whale blood, a scene both fierce and awe-inspiring. However, to comply with YouTube's content policy, we've had to blur certain realistic scenes. We kindly ask for your understanding, But it's precisely this raw struggle and sacrifice that reveals the strength, courage, and unity of the Lamallara tribe, who see whales as sacred gifts from the ocean.
Maki. Bapak ambil rapo dulu. Rutenya. Minta rapo. Jadi ke sana kasih dulu.
When the whale is finally brought down, the entire village gathers to haul the prize ashore. This is more than food, it's a spiritual ritual. The Lamallara believe the whale is bestowed by the sea, so they divide the meat equally among all families as a symbol of gratitude and unity. The meat is sun-dried, the fat and oil stored in large clay jars as fuel, while bones are repurposed into tools. Not a single part of the whale goes to waste. Today, however, this ancient practice has become a subject of global debate. While most countries have banned whaling entirely, the Lamallara people are granted an exception, due to the traditional and subsistence nature of their hunts. They hunt only during the season, and take only what is necessary for the village, never for trade or commercial sale. This makes their practice both a cultural treasure and a controversial topic in discussions about conservation and humanity's relationship with nature. For travelers, witnessing the Lamallara whale hunt is a profound experience, at once a display of human strength battling nature, and a moment of reflection on the fragile line between tradition and preservation, survival and responsibility. Today, some Lamallara fishermen have shifted to hunting large fish species like rays and tuna to reduce pressure on whale populations. Yet, the traditional whale hunt still endures, a living testament to the resilience of indigenous culture in the face of modern change. It must be said, there are few places left on Earth where people still hunt whales by hand like in Lamallara. It is both a heritage and a survival challenge, and also a story that makes the entire world stop and think.